Welcome to Square One, everyone, the podcast where we explore the beginnings of tech journey and dive into latest tech topics with industry professionals. I'm your host Saras Sridhar, and in each episode, we blend personal stories with insights into the ever-evolving world of technology. Let's dive in. Today, we are going to talk about the impact of AI on low-code and no-code platforms. Today we are joined by our guest Pradeep Swaminathan. Pradeep, we are glad to have you here, man. Could you tell our listeners a bit about yourself and what you do in tech?
Hey, Sharad. Thank you for having me. I'm a data scientist at Cloudix, a Microsoft Dynamics 365 consulting firm. Before this, I worked in the collections and customer care industry as a data scientist. So my journey into data science has been quite unconventional. I started with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering,
Mhm.
then moved to the US in 2018 to pursue a master's in industrial engineering. I
Interesting.
graduated in 2020, right as the pandemic hit.
Mhm.
And that's when I fully transitioned into the world of data. Over the
Mhm.
past 5 years, I've built expertise in data analysis, visualization, statistical modeling, AI, ML, and now generative AI. Um,
Oh,
uh,
you're deep in tech, huh? That's good.
yeah, I
How did
also
you
have
fall
some
in love with
experience.
data? Like, how did you started looking into data and can you tell the moment that you started? Okay, this is the place where I'm going.
Yeah, so halfway through my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, I realized that it wasn't the right fit for me. So
Mhm.
I started exploring different fields, and at the time, behavioral economics caught my attention. So around that time, I read The Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg, where he talked about how Target, the retailer,
Mhm.
used algorithms to predict pregnant women based
Mhm.
on their purchasing patterns, and
Oh,
that sort of blew my mind. And I was
interesting.
fascinated by the idea
Mhm.
that data could reveal such powerful insights, and I wanted to understand how it all worked. So at that point, I never heard of the word, I never heard of data science.
Mhm.
So it was not until I started my master's degree, I was introduced to machine learning, and that was my turning point. So this was back in 2019, and the deeper I dug, the more fascinated I became. By the end of that summer, I knew I wanted to, build a career in this field.
That's great. That's great to hear. So let's dive into the topics. So, would you like to explain to our audience what is a low code, no code platform and how they have evolved over time?
Yeah, sure. So low-code, no-code platforms are these software development environments that enables users to create applications with minimal or no coding knowledge. Um, these platforms are usually drag and drop interfaces.
Mhm.
Um, you can get pre-built templates in visual workflows. It allows both developers and non-developers to build applications quickly and efficiently. But
Okay.
it's geared more towards small businesses. Say, for example, I own a coffee shop. I cannot afford a developer to develop a timesheet application to let my workers enter their time.
Hmm.
Um, but I have a little bit of technical experience. So what I can do is I can use one of these local no code platforms to build an application quickly that would act as a timesheet.
So essentially, so you just have to know your business knowledge and how the business works, and
Yeah.
without less or no technical knowledge, you can quickly whip up an application for your need. That's great.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. So some of the um, popular examples include Microsoft Power Apps and Mendix. Those are like two popular systems out there um, that
That's
access the local no-code platforms.
that's great. So Can you explain how has AI, especially generative AI, impacted the software development so far?
Yeah, so you see, these generative AIs with the arrival of with the arrival of GPT 3 back in December 2022, the generative AI started evolving rapidly, right? So one of the applications is, I mean, now it's a no-brainer thing, right, to use it for coding. So it tremendously started reshaping the software development in profound ways, from code generation to automated testing, debugging, and even software design. So these AI-driven tools are making
Hmm?
developments faster, more efficient, and accessible to a broader audience. So you could have seen GitHub has a Copilot integrated to help developers with coding, and Microsoft just started including Copilot with like every application they've got. So it's AI, generative AI is taking center stage
Mhm.
in a lot of ways, and it's inevitable that people use generative AI for coding.
Okay. If you have to pick a favorite generative AI, what would you pick? Like,
Like the model you're asking for?
yeah.
Yeah, so it so whenever someone asks me for an advice regarding which model should I be picking, it really depends on
It's not more
the
of an
use case.
advice, like off the top, like what's your favorite model that you always go to? So when you
Okay,
come across something that needs to be solved, this is the first AI go to. Which one is it?
okay. So even I use a mix of models. So for let's say grammar check, enhancing sentences, I use OpenAI's ChatGPT, and for coding related things, I take Claude from Anthropic. So Sonnet 3.7, the latest the introduction, that's my favorite. So
Yeah, I've been
I'd say,
seeing all the hype. So they've done a really good job in generating code. Especially the coders tend to more go into cloud Anthropic side.
yeah,
It's more it generates high quality code compared to other AI models. That's what I've heard.
yeah, that's right. And
Okay,
also I use a little bit of Gemini.
Gemini. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting choice. So are AI powered coding assistant like GitHub Copilot really replacing the need of low code no code platforms? Because now it's similar to low code no code. You just have to know the business knowledge. You type in the prompts and it gets you the code. um, will this replace the low code no code platforms?
Okay, so no, not entirely, because if you look at this AI landscape and local no-code platforms, they are meant for different things, right? So these coding assistants, they actually help developers to fast track their development process, right? So it can also be used with low-code, no-code platforms to build out that app faster. But I don't think these AI-powered coding assistants are not going to replace low-code, no-code platforms, because they are intended for different purposes. So AI assistants actually improves developer productivity, but it cannot eliminate coding completely. So AI tools speed up the coding, but still requires developers to review, debug, and refine the generated code. LCNC, low-code, no-code platforms, on the other hand, avoids coding altogether by sometimes providing drag and drop solutions.
Okay.
And this low-code, no-code platforms, since it empowers non-coders, you see many businesses don't have in-house developers, like small businesses. So this local no-code platform actually allows these non-technical teams to build apps without having to, write a single line of code. And I think AI is going to like supercharge these development fast process. Um, um, it's going to reduce the time it takes to build these low code, no code platform applications.
Okay. Will low code, no code tools really start integrating AI to stay relevant then?
Yeah, they should, right? So, as I mentioned previously, Microsoft Power Platform, they've already integrated Copilot with their application. So right now you can get help from Copilot to build your application. And if you have any questions, you can start asking your Copilot, and it will suggest how to, it will give you ideas. It will spit out code for you to use in your Power Apps platform. And if you ask me, should they? I would say absolutely, because since low code, no code platforms are aimed at non-technical people, having an AI to help them at every step possible actually helps people, to understand to understand the process better, and thereby, enable them to build, more purposeful application. So, as I previously mentioned, this integration, integrating AI tools with low-code, no-code platform actually turbocharges a non-developer to develop an application and significantly reduces the time it takes to, create the application.
Got it. So that's it for the questions for today. Thank you, Pradeep, for joining us. And viewers, listeners, will be coming back with a new episode with new tech experts and new topics. Stay tuned.